Hello guys, it's D to the B here, and I'm here to talk about Superman Legacy, or I should say Superman from the James Gunn universe. So, I watched the trailer, it wasn't too bad. Nothing too exciting, but, I mean, it looks a bit more interesting than Captain America Brave New World, I'll give it that. So I'd like to discuss the trailer and basically what's going on in it. So first we see this frozen area, which I'm guessing is the Arctic. And we see something crash into the area, and it's Superman, and he looks like he's been beaten really bad in a fight or something like that, because there's literally blood coming out of his nose. And also, still not a huge fan of the new suit. Like, it looks a bit better than all the photos that we got, but it's still not that great. And unfortunately, the guy who's playing Superman in this movie is still not buff enough. He doesn't have to be crazy buff, but I think he should be a bit more buffer than he is in this trailer. But that's just a nitpick by me. I know there have been Supermans in movies that aren't really that buff. I'm pretty sure it was like the original Superman movies, the trilogy or the quadrilogy, whatever. I have no idea because I didn't watch those movies, but I would be willing to watch them, because I have more been going backwards with movies, because new movies suck. But anyway, then we get a shot of the city life, and we have Superman's secret identity, Clark Kent, just walking through the streets, looking like he's trying to make sure he's not late for his job or something like that. He seems in quite of a hurry in this part of the trailer. And then we go back to Superman, who is still injured at this point, and he's spitting out blood. And then we see, of course, the James Gunn logo, because he is the one directing it. And then we also get to see the inside of Superman's job, where we get to see the new Lois Lane. And she looks pretty good for the character. Not bad. We definitely have to see what she's like in the actual movie, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't really talk in this trailer. And then we get this moment in the trailer where we get to see Superman's home, and we get to see his adoptive parents, which are nice. We get to see his dad, which is way older than the other guy that they had for his dad, and they're having a good moment. Then we get to go back to the Arctic, where Superman is whistling, and there's this cloud of smoke coming by. And then it turns out to be Superman's trusting pet, Krypto. And Krypto is excited to see Superman, and Superman grabs like a corner of his cape and says to bring him home. And then we get to see this scene of a little girl who is about to be injured from this, I'm guessing, construction accident, and then Superman just comes in and blocks the cans, which, it's a pretty cool scene. But I want to throw this out there, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but knowing Superman's abilities and his powers, wouldn't it have made more sense for him to fly by, grab her, and avoid those things in general? I know he's Superman and he's supposed to protect everyone, but I think it would just be a faster, easier, and safer way to protect this little girl from getting injured. But that is just me. And then we get to see one of Superman's greatest arch enemies, Lex Luthor, where he's looking at the window and he sees this this thing flying by, which we can apply that as Superman, and he just walks off, and then we get this cool shot of a building which has Luthor Corp on it, and I'll say this is a pretty cool building. I actually wish I had this building. And then we get to see Lex Luthor with a pistol, and we get to see Superman breaking out of some container that he is trapped in. It obviously doesn't have Kryptonian in it because he broke it way too easily. So maybe this is like Lex Luthor first trying to catch Superman and then fails, and he'll be like, how would I even catch this guy? It might be that. Then we go to another country where a kid is hanging a Superman flag, and he says Superman, and then we get this shot of the townspeople looking at Superman and beginning to throw things at him. I'm guessing Superman has done something wrong in this scene, or it's going to be one of those moments like, this guy's a monster or something like that. I don't know. But they seem to be angry with him, and we have Officer protecting the door as Superman walks in to prevent people from getting to Superman, and Superman looks like he's having that moment of despair where, what do I even do? But then we get to see Green Lantern come into the scene, and Green Lantern and Hawkgirl, and I am sorry, they did Green Lantern dirty. I do not like this design of Green Lantern. Like, the outfit itself is okay, but that haircut, that is terrible. That is a terrible haircut for Green Lantern. I'm so sorry, Green Lantern. I'm sorry. If people like that haircut for him, that's fine. I just don't like it. And then we get a cool shot of Hawkgirl. Her outfit looks relatively fine. I don't like how they're modernizing it, because if you know Hawkgirl from like the comics or the cartoons, it is nothing like that, but it seems to be fine for what it is. A friend of mine speculated that this universe, there might be like an organization that the superheroes work for in this universe, but we will see on that. And then we get to... Hello, Editing D the B here. We also get this alien creature right here. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot about this, but I figure I throw in a little edit to show that I didn't forget this scene. So continue on with the rest of the video. This shot with Lois Lane and Superman, which, looking at the setting of the trailer, this seems to be the same setting as the picture, the first picture revealed for the new Superman movie a while back, where he's putting on his boots, and there's this giant circle thing shooting in the sky. I do not know what this is. I have not read the comics. Reading comics is something new that I'm trying to do. I started with Marvel. I did read one DC comic, but it was like that alternate universe where the bad guys are the superheroes. Like, they take their identities. Like, Man-Bat is Batman, and then Zod is Superman, and I forget who Wonder Woman was in that. But yeah, like, everything's reversed. That's the only DC comic that I've read, because a friend was so gracious enough to give me a copy to borrow. And it was fine for what it was. Granted, I don't know enough context about that story. But again, I do want to read comics. I've started with Marvel. I just need to get into DC comics. But continuing on, then we get to see Superman and Lois making out, or that moment where they have their spark and there's like something going on and they have their kissing moment, and that encourages Superman, which is pretty cool. Nice to see this. And we definitely need this in this era because there has not been a lot of couples lately in cinema, especially straight couples, because, oh, a man and a woman getting together, that is such a crime to humanity that it needs to be destroyed completely. Now, Lois Lane in this could be insufferable. I'm not gonna say, oh, because she's kissing Superman, she's gonna be a great woman character. We have no idea. They could still pull the modern nonsense into this movie. But we will see. We'll see if James Gunn will do that or not. I'd say so far, even with his political stance, I think he's been doing good making sure not to put those messages into his superhero movies, which is really appreciated. Because as a director, you shouldn't be hired, oh, because I believe these same political stances. You should be hired for doing a good job or having great experience with filming movies. But anyway, continuing on, then we see Superman holding some robot. Still don't know who this is because I am, again, not a comic book reader. I'm thinking I'm probably going to pick up the first issue of Superman Legacy, or whatever the comic's called that it's based off of, so I can understand a bit what's going on. So yeah, robot. I'm guessing he's like Kryptonian. Then we see like Superman's hideout being formed, and then we get to see a shot of this alien dude that I have no idea the name of. I'm sorry if I'm pissing you comic fans off right now. For me, I only grew up, for the DC universe, I only grew up with the animated series, or the animated TV shows, the Snyder universe, which is definitely not perfect. There are things I like about it, but it's not that great. And then also the Dark Knight trilogy, the Batman, the Joker film, and I think that's it. So yeah, I'm not going to be aware of who each character is, but I do know a lot of DC characters. Then we see a building collapsing. Then we get to see Lex Luthor. And then we get to see a news report of the kid from earlier. Then Superman is lifting some sort of building. Then we see Krypto. And then we get to see also this other hero, which his name is Mr. Terrific, who is punching through a wall. And then we also get to see this being crashing into Superman. Now, I think this might be Mr. Terrific, but at the same time, looking at his outfit in another shot, his outfit looks completely different. And I'm actually looking at the behind the scenes images of Superman Legacy, the leaked ones. And unless if Mr. Terrific has a costume before this one, I don't think it's Mr. Fantastic who is tackling Superman. Unless if somebody knows who this is and can correct me on this, take my words with a grain of salt. I might think this is actually Zod, because that I'm aware of, and I don't know a lot of Superman's enemies. I only know like the basics, like Zod and Lex Luthor and Brainiac. But to my knowledge, Zod is the only character in Superman's villain catalog that can go rival to him, which if I'm right, that's cool. I don't mind Zod getting another shot at a movie. Like, even though I didn't hate Man of Steel, yeah, I'm a Man of Steel fan. But granted, I haven't seen that movie in forever. Who knows? Maybe my opinions change, or maybe I just like the movie as its own thing. Who knows? But I wouldn't mind them doing Zod again for a Superman villain. Because Zod is pretty cool. I like Zod. So, unless if there's a character that I'm not aware of that also has the same power level as Superman that isn't Zod, I'm gonna guess it's him. Because if you look at Mr. Terrific's outfit and then also this shot right here, they are absolutely not similar whatsoever. So I don't know who this character is. Speculated Zod, but granted it could be somebody else. Then we see Mr. Terrific again, and he appears he's fighting the military or some sort of government organization is trying to kill him, but there's like this dome and it looks like somebody else is with him that's protecting Mr. Terrific. Now, I'm gonna throw this out there. I absolutely know nothing about Mr. Terrific. From all the stuff that I've seen, unless if I just forgot an episode, I have not seen a single thing with Mr. Terrific. He is one of those characters that I actually have no clue about. I don't know what his powers are, why don't I look that up real quick, see what his powers are. Okay, I just looked into it. Mr. Terrific does not have any powers whatsoever, but he does have a lot of skills. Like, he's good at hand combat. He also has expensive education. So yeah, this is interesting that I'm looking into his abilities now. So yeah, if anyone knows more details about him, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Then we get a shot of Superman and Lois Lane making out while Superman's flying. And then we get to see Superman flying off a fire into the clouds. And then we get a shot of Lois Lane and Superman in that same room earlier where they hug each other, and that's basically the trailer. So, I'll say, I'm impressed for what I saw of this trailer so far. Now, the question of it being good or succeeding in the box office is another question, because you never know how an actual film can turn out. Unfortunately, trailers nowadays are very misleading. And also, it sounds like this film spent a lot of money to make, which I'm hoping that this movie still succeeds regardless. We need this movie to succeed, because if this movie doesn't succeed, then the whole genre of the superhero franchise is just basically dead. Or at least the film adaptations of the genre. Because the previous DC universe and the MCU have been messing it up. And it's gotten to the point where people are straight up sick of superhero movies. Personally, I'm not, because I like superheroes. I've always liked superheroes. And there's a lot of good superhero stuff, but because of those two universes specifically, people are starting to become sick of it because they kept going and going on with the superhero stuff. And I'm hoping that this film manages to get some money back, or at least above budget, to continue on with this universe. Which I'm guessing, unless the movie only earns like $1, I'm guessing this universe is still going to keep going. Granted, I don't think we should have started with a cinematic universe right away, because people are kind of getting sick of the superhero cinematic universe thing, and I honestly couldn't blame them. I don't hate it, but with the poor management we've been getting lately, I couldn't blame them on that. So I'm hoping this movie succeeds. I'm hoping it's good. I hope I like it. Or think it's okay. I'm really hoping. But anyway, how do you feel about the Superman Legacy trailer? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's fine? Tell me in the comments. And have a nice day, everyone.